Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for checking me out. Today I wanted to go over something cool from the natural minor scale, a little lick, a cool little thing you can play by yourself or with friends, something to introduce you to this idea. Let's get into it. Okay, so like I was saying in the intro, today I wanted to show you something from the natural minor scale, a little lick, riff, fun idea I like to fool with, and it goes as such. So it's going to be in the key of E minor. If you don't know that chord, it looks a little bit like this. Open, low E string, 2nd fret A string, 2nd fret D string, open G, open B, open high E. Okay, the scale we're going to be playing today outlines that chord perfectly. It's going to be the 7th fret on our A string, which you can hear it played against my low E string, ensuring it is E and the correct note. So 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret, carrying on, 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret on the D string. Going to go down to the G string, 7th fret, 9th fret. That's one whole octave. That's one whole octave of our scale here. So 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9. That's your E natural minor scale. Okay, so to continue it on, we're going to go through 2 octaves here. So continuing from our 9th fret G string, we're going to go 7th fret B string, 8th fret B string, 10th fret B string, down a string, exact same thing. 7th fret, 8th fret, 10th fret. And then there's our E note to bring it all home. So from the A string, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 7, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, 12, the root. Okay, so that's just the scale on its own. That's not what I'm trying to show you today. What I want to show you is something fun, something engaging. And if you've ever taken any lessons from me in real life, IRL, then you know that I show what I call the poor man's mariachi. So this is kind of in a similar vein here. If you guys want to learn the poor man's mariachi and the ideas, concepts around that, hey, let me know down in the comments below. Okay, but with this whole thing, it sounds kind of Spanish when you add this high E string in between. So now what we're going to do, we're going to play the notes of the scale, but between each note, we're going to hit a high E string. You can do this with your fingers, or you can use a pick and fingers, which is what I would probably do on the regular, but I'm assuming this is going out to all sorts of people, and I want to make it, accessible. Hybrid picking is not for everybody. However, finger picking, and it's not a hard one. We're going from the note we're fretting and the high E string. So it's going to look like this. 7th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret, with a high E string in between. And something I've noticed that people sometimes have a challenge with is making sure you're fretting your note with your left hand, but leaving enough space underneath where your finger is not hitting the high E string that you need to ring out. So if you're fretting like this, and your finger's laying over the string, it's not going to work. So you need a little distance, which this is actually just good technique to use your fingertip and not necessarily the pad of your finger unless you're like barring or something. So we got a little bit of distance, a little bit of air, some space here to allow that high E string to ring. So my thumb is just in a very neutral, standard position, just allowing for that gap there and giving enough support to my fretted note. So here we go. 7th fret, high E string. 9th fret, high E string. 10th fret, high E string. I think you see where this is going. So that's as far as you can go until you actually run into fretted notes on the high E string. So that's where it ends. We're focusing on the middle 4 strings, A, D, G, and B. and we're just letting the high E string ring in between each note. So one more time here. I'm just going to use my pinches. Hit them with the clamps. See, hit them with the clamps. 7th fret, high E string. 9th fret, high E string. Okay, so that's the ascending way to do it. Of course, we want to descend. We want to go the other way around. So, like I was saying, we have a high E string and a low E string. All we need is that E note ringing. So guess what? We're going to now descend this pattern, but now using the low E string as our returning note to our pedal note. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so one more time. Start here at the 10th fret, back to the 8th fret, 7th fret, low E string between each note. 10th fret, low E. 8th fret, low E. 7th fret, low E. And another challenge of this, or something to consider what we're trying to accomplish, is each note should be clean and the other note both should be ringing together in an equal volume, no buzzing, everything just clean. Everything in space. So this is definitely one of the first things I learned back in the day. Didn't even realize I was learning a scale as I was doing it, so maybe I should have buried the lead there and not told you guys exactly what I'm plotting here. Trying to make you learn scales. Ooh, filthy, nasty guitar teacher, how could you? You know, you shouldn't have to think scales when you're playing. It's just something internalized. Like when you think about a sentence and you're trying to express an idea, you don't think about every single word that you're saying. It just comes out as one expression, like a full sentence or a paragraph, or sometimes a novel, depending on how verbose you are. So the idea here is you hear an E minor, you hear kind of a Spanishy thing, and you have something you can add to the conversation. Just like any good wordsmith, you kind of need to know the context of the words in which you're using, therefore to be a good speaker. Okay, so don't think of scales or anything else more than just these are the tools of our trade and something you're going to put in the back of your brain and not think about very much. That's the idea. Because we practice at home and then we perform on the stage. We don't practice on the stage. So we get all this done in private, in secret, in the shadows. Okay, so here we go one more time. 7th fret with the high E string, ascending. And you don't have to go just up and down. You can skip strings or do whatever kind of pattern you want, just to add this up. This is just kind of a fun device, as I was saying. Do what you will with this. And so I would call that the intermediate basic version of this. If you want to start getting super techie with it, add a little level, add a little difficulty to it. Same idea, but now we're going to add the B string and the E string, just going between the A, D, and G string. Obviously we can't play the B or E because we're leaving them open. So that looks like this. 7th fret, A string, B string, E string. And that's a great deal of fun because now you're making 3 notes, which makes a triplet if you're paying attention at home, keeping track of the rhythm here. Triplet, 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 triplet. It's fun that the word triplet is a triplet. So you can just say triplet, 1, 2, 3, triplet, when you're doing triplets. Or really don't say anything when you're doing that, you know, just like I said, in your mind. So, I feel like this one tends to like to go fast. Or at least maybe that's just my tendency and I just think it sounds cooler fast. But hey, you decide, do your own thing. Let me know down in the comments if you think slow is the way or you have a different way. Let me know, and I will happily endorse that. I'm here for the fun, y'all. So I think that's enough for today. Kind of a short one. Didn't want to overload you with too much information. I really appreciate everybody tuning in, checking out the previous videos. And yeah, we'll see you in the outro. Thank you again. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video today, sticking with us. If you made it to this point in the video, that means you watched the whole thing, and I greatly appreciate it. If it's not too much more to ask, if you could hit subscribe, maybe like, share us with some friends. We're still a new channel here, growing, and I appreciate all the support I can get. So, thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.